How will these overnight cues impact our own markets? We have our research team joining in to tell you just that. The trade setup, the stocks that are likely to be in the news and the action from the F&O space as well. Hey guys, a very good morning. First up, Manglam is joining in today to tell us all the market cues that are in focus today. Manglam?
Well, you know, yesterday was as per script. We saw an opening on the way up, but then that was sold into, and thereafter we closed near the flat line on the Nifty itself. The Nifty has pivoted itself around that 18,600 mark. So that's something that we're watching. But there are a bunch of big cues all through this week itself. Yesterday, post-market, we got the CPI for India. But importantly, we're watching out for US CPI and the US Fed meet outcome that happens tomorrow as well. The US inflation data, of course, comes tonight. For India, the CPI data for May 2023 was 4.25, which is a 25-month low. The US CPI data is expected to be 4.1, and the FOMC meet is something that we'll be watching out for. It was good close on Wall Street. We saw the Nasdaq and about 1.5% higher, led by Apple. And the Asian markets on the back of that largely positive. A couple of indices are on the mixed side. The SGX Nifty indicating a positive start. The question remains once again, after this uptick at the open, do we see a sell-off or do we see higher moves going forward? You know, irrespective of where the frontline indices go, the mid-caps and the small caps have been outperforming. We saw that in yesterday's trading session as well. The market breadth was firmly in favor of advances. And we had the financials, which continued to underperform. Today is a Tuesday, so it's the financial services expiry as well. That is something we'll be watching out for in the last half of trade. The FIIs, they sold for the second consecutive day in the cash market, 627 crores. The DI has bought about 1,800 odd crores. And remember, you know, the lack of big decline yesterday led to a lot of the short positions being covered. So the FII long short has increased from 46 to 49%, and shorts have dropped from 54 to 51%. And the 20-day moving average is an important level to watch out for both the Nifty as well as the Nifty Bank. Nifty Bank mildly below that. For the Nifty, 18,450 to 18,500 remains a strong area of support.
Okay, those levels will be important to watch on the Nifty and the Bank Nifty, as you mentioned. Let's move on and speak about all the stocks that are in focus today. Vivek is joining us with that list. Hey, Vivek.
Well, good morning. Quite a few stocks to keep on your radar on the back of news flow. First on our list is the entertainment setback coming in as far as the company is concerned. A SEBI order yesterday has now directed SL Group Chairman Subhash Chandra as well as the entertainment CEO Puneet Goenka to step down from the director's position. They say that Subhash Chandra as well as Puneet Goenka cannot hold any key managerial positions in listed entities until further order. Remember, both of them do have an opportunity to go ahead and file their reply or objections within the next 21 days. Keep an eye out for SJVN as well. The company's renewable energy arm, SJVN Green Energy, has got a 200 megawatt wind power project, which through an EPC contract, the competitively bid price per cost for the unit was 3.24, and the cost of construction of this particular project is pegged at around 1,400 crore. Watch out for Inox Wind as well as Inox Wind Energy. There has been a group simplification that the group has done. So Inox Wind will now be merged with its parent entity, that is Inox Wind Energy. And when you're talking about the merger ratio, 158 shares of Inox Wind to be issued for 10 shares of Inox Wind Energy. Along with that, 158 share warrants at an issue price of 54 rupees each will now be issued for 10 share warrants of Inox Wind Energy at an issue price of 847. Canfin Homes will be another stock on the radar. The company has said that there's a board meeting scheduled on June 19th where the company would be considering a fundraising, and this would be via equity share issuance. We're talking about Engineers India Limited as well. The company has received an order of over 470 crore from ONGC. Lastly, JSW Steel. The company has been declared as the preferred bidder of mining lease for iron ore mineral in 2 blocks in Odisha. So some positive news flow for JSW as well.
Okay, all right, Vivek, thank you so much for that list. Finally, let me go across to Nigel, joining in with all the cues from the F&O space. Hey, Nigel.
Well, let's look at the two indices, Sonal. First up, the Nifty Futures, there was some unbinding of open interest out there. But on the Nifty Bank, there was some addition to the tune of closure around 3.5%. That's a change in open interest. What do the FIs do? They covered some short positions. Closure on 12,000 contracts is what they covered out. And, now the positioning has come down from around 54% to around that 51% odd. In terms of buying options, well, they bought more calls than puts. Yesterday, they bought more than 2 calls for every 1 put, so that's pretty good news. But the heartening fact is now, yet again, we're seeing some put writing. So yesterday as well, you had more puts that were written than calls. And the PCR, we were highlighting that it's at the lower end of the range. It's moved up to around 0.92 odd. Remember, the one odd level is the midway mark. And why did that happen? Yesterday, there was a fair bit of put action. 18,600, 18,550 put. Well, there was big addition out there. In fact, between those 3 strikes, you had close to 80 lakh shares that were added. And that explains why the bulls believe that maybe the base of the market is moving up a little bit. All eyes on the 20 DMA. Provided the 20 DMA holds out, you'll say yes, pretty much. That uptrend is intact. So the 20 DMA becomes crucial on the downside. And the resistance level is around that recent high that we saw just last week, around 18,800 odd mark. We're expecting the bears to come in and fight out there. Another important trigger will be the Nifty Financial Services Index. That plays out expiry today. So that will move the Nifty Bank as well a little bit. SGX Nifty suggesting a gap up, as has been the case. Don't chase the gap up. Wait by for an intraday dip if you want to get in. Stop loss comes in at around 20 DMA. So, that's the level that you're looking at. Back to you.
Okay, all right, Nigel, thank you so much for joining us with all those F&O cues. That's the trade setup for today. We'll slip into a break now. Up next, retail inflation for the month of May cools to a 25-month low at 4.25%. We'll get you more on the inflation print on the other side. Stay tuned for that.